Emerald mountains tumbling down to a sapphire sea, diamonds dancing upon the waters, and of course gold up for grabs. The Midnight Sun jersey. Surely it would be at least partially decided on this great day. The Queen Stage, destination the Stohea climb. 2 intermediate King of the Mountains to be dealt with, an intermediate sprint as well. All action ultimately, but first a poignant start to the day. Thoughts of Finlay Tarling, who lost his life on the Volta Portugal yesterday. NSN team leading the applause in tribute to the young 19-year-old. Our thoughts turning to the task at hand. 146.5 kilometres, destination Melbourne, the mighty climb that would define the race, surely waiting for us at the end. This was going to be a battle for the breakaway. How hard fought? Almost decided immediately. Mountains points up for grabs. Access, of course, in the Northern Lights King of the Mountains jersey, and its nearest rival. Erik Vang was up there too, joined by Eriksson from Lillehammer CK, Laforce from Ringerike, and Axel Karlberg, teammate of Baxas, to help out. The weather wasn't the kindest to start us off. It did dry out through the day, but a white-hot battle raged in that King of the Mountains competition. While teeing up was Karlberg, but then Baxas broke for the horizon. Duking out with him, Erik Vangash, who rested up on stage 2 and now took advantage, cutting this gap down. Another climb still to come, of course. Could this gap be even narrower heading for the final day? 2 points separating the King of the Mountains. Another climb to come, then an intermediate sprint, and then the biggest test of this race laying up ahead. Could the breakaway break the hearts of those who are chasing? Modern Adventure Pro Cycling set the pace on the chase. Setting the pace ahead of the second climb of the day, Karlberg, the Finnish champion, set off, but he'd gone too early. He was on the radio saying, "Where are you, my friend? I'm supposed to be leading you to these points." Well, he accidentally took all 3, but behind him, that big throw to the line, and Erik Vangas closed the gap in the mountains competition to just 1 point with 1 day remaining. Big points up for grabs, of course, on the all-category test at the end of the day, but really those in the mountains competition would not feature. This was going to be about the GC men, and after 2 days of sprinting, it was to come down to the big test. An intermediate sprint notwithstanding, lying on the road up ahead. It was pin-pull time for those who'd done their duty on the day. Vangas resting up, he went back to the peloton. He'll go again on stage 4. Vangas, joined by Baxas, back in the peloton, left 3 up the road ultimately. And so it was that we headed towards our final destination. Glorious scenery yet again. So many riders on these narrow roads wanted to be up towards the front. That was the best place to be. You had to get to the foot of the last climb in a decent position. There was no room to maneuver at all. And so a sprint had been dealt with, absorbed by the 3 riders up the road. They ultimately would, of course, be caught. Onto the double bridges that had started the day, we were returning back to our almost starting point before heading up on the climb itself. The peaks rising. Who would take flight? That was the big question. The speeds were high on the approach. They were about to dissipate almost entirely by the time we got to the cruel ramps late on. Last man standing from the break would be Karlberg. He picked up a combativity award at the end, and the jersey was about to be handed over. Lonardi had fought so hard to stay in the Midnight Sun jersey, but we knew it was going to be on somebody else's shoulders by the end. They were lining themselves up for glory. Big run-in for NSN Cycling. Ethan Vernon himself getting involved, others getting out of shape. Total Energies found the gravel, got themselves back sorted out. They would hope to be a feature by the very last. It was about energy preservation and then spending it wisely once you got, of course, to our run for home. The young jersey was about to transfer, but to whose shoulders? Young men were coming to the fore. You had to be on your mettle. A check over the shoulder from Sebastian Berich. He'd been out of position on the first significant incline that we had, but he's doing an amazing job at the moment. Staying planted is the German champion in about wheel 6, but it's the red jersey you need to look at here. Lennart van Eetveld, here he goes. Oh, he picks it up and says, I'm out of here. See ya. Silver's the man that goes with him. Staying with him as Rob Dont as well. And it's going to be between those three. That's the decision. Who's going to get there first? And nobody knows. Big kick here coming from Alessandro Pinarello as he vessels to get back onto the back wheel of Rob Dont and then goes straight back into the saddle. Can't actually make it stick. He might go again, but Silver picks it up and goes. Lennart van Eetveld will try and stay with him, but Silver looks like he's in stealing mode here. Absolutely superb. Road's running out for everybody, and Silver looks like he's going to get here. He's been so busy when it comes to intermediate sprint bonus points. Can he bring this home? Van Eetveld's now going to start sprinting. 200 metres to go for Van Eetveld. A little bit less than that, and the man in front of him. It's going to be a sprint for the line here, and it's going to be minor placer for just about everybody else. Van Eetveld still with work to do, and Silver looks like he might well have made a steal. What an amazing finale. This is going to be 100 metres to go now. Silver checks over his shoulder. Van Eetveld is still not giving up the ghost here, and he's coming back at him as we get to the hoarded section. A 2-up sprint here. Silver looks magnificent, but so does Van Eetveld. Who's going to get there first? Oh, Silver makes the steal. It's gold for Silver.
Obviamente me siento muy bien, el equipo confió en mí y poder responder de esta manera. Sabíamos que quizás no era el mejor final para mí, pero lo íbamos a intentar igualmente. Y nada, la verdad que súper contento de regalarle una nueva victoria y ahora de líder intentar defenderlo mañana.
What a winner we had. What a battle. And it's going to rage on the final day. Silver taking it ahead of Van Eetveld. They 1 and 2 overall. Pinarello close, De Vront, and of course Engelhardt. There can only be one leader, and we've got it for now. He's confident for the final day. He leads ahead of Van Eetveld by 10 seconds overall.